Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media, and I'm your sorry, little tongue-tied early this morning. I'm your host, Marty Marr. So, Stephanie White, the new head coach of the Indiana Fever, who is embarking on a new journey of coaching the greatest collegiate athlete and the greatest rookie to ever grace the WNBA hardwood, and Caitlin Clark. Now, we all know Stephanie White played at the University of Purdue, where she won NCAA title. And celebration of that, she has been, she has a conversation series called the Presidential Lecture Series, A Boilermaker Legend on and off the court, conversation with Stephanie White. And Mung Ching, he was the guy giving the interview to Stephanie White. And she went into a bunch of details about everything that she had talk about team chemistry, building a locker room, how the team wanted to have the right players in there. And this is for everybody, because we all, include myself, we all had these conversations about Kennedy Carter. And I even think this goes down to Marina Mabrey as well. Because the Indiana Fever are in the midst of free agency, and they've been signing a lot of people. And they wanted Pacific people to bring great leadership to the locker room and bring great culture to the locker room. Kennedy Carter doesn't present that. I don't think Marina Mabrey presents that. Now, Marina Mabrey could change, you know what I'm saying? But knowing how she was in Chicago, knowing how she was in Connecticut, now being in a different area, you might operate a whole different way. But I don't see that happening. The Indiana Fever do not want a disrupted locker room. We dealt with that with Alyssa Smith last year. Word on the street now is that Alyssa Smith and Dejanay Carrington are separated. But I would dive in more into that probably tomorrow, because I really don't have – I have a slew of stuff to dish out between today and tomorrow, and I just don't have time to get into that. But nevertheless, back to Stephanie White. Stephanie White left Connecticut, wanted to be closer to home, and she won a championship with the Fever as assistant coach. She coached the Indiana Fever. She knows what the Indiana Fever represents and what they are about. So, and she talked about a lot of things, coaching Caitlin. She talked about building a core, building around the core that she has, the core three, Kelsey, Leah, and Caitlin. I could say a core four because Lexi is part of that as well. But at the same time, making sure that you still things. Now, before I even get into these clips, I want to give a special shout out to DB at DMB6622, who posted several clips of Stephanie White talking about certain things on there. So I want to give a special shout out and acknowledgement to the person who posted these clips, and I was able to use them. So here we go with the first one. And once I play the first one, then I will dive in with my analogy and here and there.
Is Caitlin Clark easy to coach?
Well, so far she has been.
Okay.
I haven't done a whole lot yet, so far she has been. Most great players want to be coached, right? They want to be challenged. They want to continue to to be pushed outside their comfort zone because they want to be the greatest that's ever played. And, I think, I don't want to put words in Caitlin Clark's mouth, but when you have somebody who works like she works on a daily basis, that is a perfectionist, that does things at such an elite level, they want to be the best. And so for me, having a player like that, and I've only worked out with her in the gym, a handful of times, but I compare her work ethic to the only other player who I've seen that works like this is Tamika Catchings, who is the all-time greatest, right? Like one of the all-time greatest. And when you have a combination of talent and work ethic and drive to be great, I mean, there's just so much that you can accomplish. And then you surround that, with great talent around her and her humility as a person. I mean, she's a great teammate. She's great with the media. She understands the big picture. I'm really excited about the opportunity to get in game situations and get into the season because just talking basketball with her has been a lot of fun.
Wow. Now that first clip right there said a whole mouthful. She hasn't had a full coaching of Caitlin Clark, but for what she has already endured in their interaction with Caitlin Clark, it goes to show you how excited Stephanie White is. She loves it. Stephanie White loves it. She knows that, see, unlike Christy Sides, Stephanie White gets it. Stephanie White knows that Caitlin Clark is a generational talent. She's 101. She's hungry. She knows Caitlin wants to be great. Caitlin wants to be the best ever. And Stephanie White is going to be that catalyst to put her up there because they understand the game from a perspective. They can share what winning is, what the road it takes to be a winner. Not saying Caitlin is not a winner, so I don't want y'all to misconstrue what I'm talking about. But when it's levels above this, especially when you talk about the road to a WNBA championship, it's steps you have to take. Even the great Michael Jordan, even the great Kobe Bryant, they had to take certain levels, even in their young career, as great as they was, to become greater and the best. You have to take that certain level. And Stephanie White understands that Caitlin Clark wants to be everything that Tamika Catchings was, or Candace Parker was. Even Stephanie White was. So you go you go from a makeshift coach to a exceptional coach. And Stephanie White understands that, and she wants to pull everything that she can out of Caitlin Clark. Because remember, she talked about how she could get Caitlin Clark to be the leader of this team, understanding there's different ways to lead, and get her. And if you listen to her, she wants to get Caitlin in the game situations. There's going to be game situations this season where Caitlin Clark has to take the next step. You know what I'm saying? She has to, they might be down. Okay, Caitlin, we need you to do this. We need the pieces to fit over here and there. Caitlin got to orchestrate them. We seen it in the All-Star game when the vets was playing with Caitlin Clark and she was directing them and stuff, and Cheryl Miller was there, and it was like, so I think Caitlin Clark is going to relish into that. Now on to my next clip.
But it takes a whole team.
Yes.
And does this introduce complexity in how you recruit and coach others?
I think you have to find the right pieces. When you have players, a player like Caitlin Clark, you got to find the right fit around there. And, for us, a priority was to find veterans because we have young, inexperienced talent who want to be great. Yes, and we found some who want to be successful, but there's no substitute for experience. And so finding experienced players who fit the way that we want to play, who understand that our big three are our big three, and who aren't afraid of that, who embrace that, who want to lead by example every single day, and who want to win, who want to compete. Like winning is hard. Winning is hard, and you do have to get a little bit lucky. You know, you stay healthy, you get the right draw, you hit your peak at the right time. You know, for us, building chemistry is going to be really important. But surrounding Caitlin and Aaliyah and Kelsey with the right people is more important. But the number one thing that each one of those players said when we got the job and we started free agency was take care of our locker room. It's not win at all costs, right? It's take care of our locker room. Because any of us who has been a part of special teams and championship teams know that talent is not enough. When you come back, you know, 10, 20, 30 years later, you're talking about the relationships. You're talking about the sacrifice. You're talking about the joy in the locker room. You're talking about, you know, pulling for one another. And you're talking about being great teammates, right? And all the joy that you celebrated throughout the journey. And that's about the locker room. And so they have the big picture in mind. They know how to keep the things that are important, and at the forefront of everything that they do. And they help us understand that we're not going to sacrifice the locker room to hang a banner. We're going to use the locker room to get us our banner.
Yes. And we can't wait for that banner.
Yes.
And see, that's right there. That is very, very important, because what Stephanie White alluded to is that when you have a young team, you want to surround them with winners, people that already won on certain levels, know how to lead a team. Look at DeWanna Bonner, how she was in Connecticut. She was a quiet, I call her a silent killer, because she knew what it takes, because she'd been in the league longer. You know, she won championships. You look at Natasha Howard, same thing, won championships. You look at Sophie Cunningham playing with Diana Taurasi over there, understanding what winning is. Sid Colston, you know, over there in LA. You gotta, when you put when you building a team and you bringing pieces together, you want it to be affectionate. You want it to rub off. You want it to everybody to be hungry, like, oh, I want this. Listen to their stories, how they got there. And you're like, oh my God, I want that. I want that. Then you start working harder. Then your vets start seeing you work harder. Then your vets start working harder. Then it all start to come together. Your coaches starting to see here. They start coming up with other game plan. You know, not the initial game plan. They just like, okay, this may work over here. This may work in certain situations. Okay, this team is built a certain way. This team is built a certain way. Then you go into the season learning how to have key matchups. Why you think the Chicago Bulls were successful when they won what there was 78-3, something like that, when they had won all of them games that year. They had a mission, and they went on to win a WNBA title. This is what we envision for the Indiana Fever, America's team. You know, putting the pieces together. And Stephanie White is absolutely correct. And I think, to me, when Stephanie White became the coach of this team, a lot of people wasn't sold on her. They was like, nah, she came from Connecticut. She did this. She allowed this. She did this. And we all had all of these narratives and, you know, not wanting her, not thinking that she's going to be the right coach. But me personally, I never waver from the way I felt about Stephanie White. Because I said this before and I say it again. And shout out to Miss Adrienne Ross, because we talked about this on her show months ago. The situation in Connecticut was bound by because of the ownership, and the GM was allowing the situation to happen there. I don't think DeWanna Bonner was cool with the situation going on there, regardless of, because she's the fiance of Alyssa Thomas. But sometimes you have to roll with it to keep certain negativity down. You feel what I'm saying? And I think Stephanie White got burned out about it because she couldn't. It's like she couldn't coach the way she needed to coach, and they kind of allow certain players on the team, like a Dejanay Carrington or Alyssa Thomas, to act a certain way. You never seen the DeWanna Bonner act out of character on the court since she been playing. But you had when you got Marina Mabrey, she started acting that way. Dejanay started ramping up. AT was sitting there acting like she was innocent because ownership was allowing that. The GM was allowing that, and Stephanie White wasn't trying to feel it. She wants to build a happy culture. She wants to build winners. She wants to make sure that these players come in there and they contribute right away to help this young core exceed the highest expectation. So, me personally, I love what Stephanie White has to say. Like I said, a lot of people wasn't sold on Stephanie White from the beginning, but I never wavered off from it. You know what I'm saying? I said it because she's been with this franchise. She's seen it from top to bottom. She's been there on that mountaintop. On to the next clip.
Now, but it takes the whole team.
Yes.
And does this introduce complexity in how you recruit and coach others?
I think you have to find the right pieces. When you have players, a player like Caitlin Clark, you got to find the right fit around.
Okay, I already played that clip. But anyway, you get the point. So I want to say I appreciate Stephanie White for what she has she has talked about and everything. Like I said, at DB on Twitter had put out some footage, and I was able to assess that to be able to show y'all. So I will put the links in my description. But nevertheless, man, I'm so excited for the season. I have so much plans for the season. I mean, like really going to games, getting a lot of footage. Hopefully I could retain media access and stuff like that, because I'm really working hard to get closer to what I want to do and how I want to bring new footage to my platform and stuff like that. But I do appreciate Stephanie White sitting down and understanding and laying out some of the groundwork. And she has repeatedly, since the time she got hired, continue to say the same thing over and over and over and over, because now they putting the pieces together and they going to instill it in workout, all season workouts and, and preseason and training camp and all of that great stuff. And then in games. So me personally, salute to Stephanie White on that one. Guys, leave your likes and comments and tell me what you think you liked about Stephanie White and what she had to say. And you always know what I say at the end of my videos. Until the next episode, Live Wire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.